I'm not really doing a interactive live as I've not been feeling so well for the past few days. Some massive vertigo, and it's just not been great. But that's why I'm also still a little bit dopey right now. Not on anything except vertigo, I guess. So it took a lot of work and a lot of self healing and a lot of stuff just to be able to get up and do this on Tier 23. But in doing Tier 23, I saw some things that I figured, you know what, whether or not people pay for that service, there's some things that if you know, you should share. So that's what I'm doing. So I just want to give a really condensed heads up over a couple of very key alignments, and then I'm going to go back and lie down because really still not feeling well. But I would also know that I wouldn't be able to rest peacefully without doing my job. So, so I'm just opening my file. Okay, here we go. So just a couple of key important things. Couple of key important things. Of October the 22nd, we had Mars squared Pluto. That brings up a lot of stuff. It can bring up a lot of issues in resources, health, relationships. You know, there's no surprises there. The energy is still very strong of that in the skies. We October the 23rd, we saw the sun entering Scorpio. Scorpio season is all about ripping the blindfold off and looking to the guts of things. So, you know, for me, it's certainly come up with some health stuff that I need to take care of. So I'm taking a little bit of time as much as I can. I felt so bad because I literally slept till about 5 p.m. today, missed all my sessions. I couldn't even move. I woke up going, what? What? What happened? So it's not at all an easy time. And I know my chart, so there are several things that are getting whacked. October the 24th, we do see very important, for some of you, it's still the 24th. We're having a very powerful yod with Mercury, Uranus, and the great attractor. No matter what's happening in your life, even if you're knocked down on your back or if you're sitting up, whatever you're doing, everything that's happening is pointing you towards a certain truth. Everything. Don't shame yourself if you're in a situation that hurts. Don't shame yourself if you feel knocked down. That's not the universe telling you you're a bad person. Anyone who says that deserves to be beaten with a stick. My filters are clearly off today, but anyway. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're experiencing, look for what is underneath it. Look for the situation that creates it. Now, the health focus is really coming up, not because of these alignments, but because of Pholus. Pholus is that revealer of generational truths, sometimes that reveals patterns of generational violence. And before coronavirus shut the world down, I remember doing a piece called The Astrology of Coronavirus, where I talk about Pholus and Capricorn and how it really relates to that Capricornian superstructure and so on and so forth, and colonialism and violence and control. So look up my article on the astrology of coronavirus. Pholus in conjuncts the mean node at 3 degrees of Gemini. There's a lot of stuff that is about controlling your actual truth, your actual voice. And it's so important to push through with the voice right now, which is why I'm not lying down. I'm like, no, I have a job to do it. The yod points for this are 3 degrees Leo or Scorpio. So if you've got anything around there, just pay more attention. October the 25th, the Mercury, great attractor, Uranus, yod is continuing. Keep heading towards your path of truth. There's a very powerful energy right now. You need to keep, not necessarily moving, even if moving for you is internally and you're lying down. Just do what you got to do to keep moving in alignment with truth. Some people are going to be floating through this, and it all depends on your chart and what you're doing and what kind of struggles you're facing. Just don't judge and just go through it. Now, October the 26th is the day that I'm most concerned about. Here, the sun actually activates that yod with Pholus and the north node. So here's really where I want you to be very clear about what dynamics and what patterns are coming through. Pay attention to your health, pay attention to your body, pay attention to dynamics of control that are trying to shut you down. And whatever is happening to you right now, sometimes it's literally because something does not want your voice to come through. So, yes, you can play the pity card, you can play the victim card, but that isn't going to help you in your spirit soar. And that is what you need to be focusing on right now. Look at the truth that you need to express at this time. And this is why this is such a challenge. Um, Now, October the 27th, we do see Saturn in conjunct Psyche and Therius. Psyche and Therius are together at 7 degrees Virgo. The yacht points are 7 degrees of Cancer, Aries. Again, matters of health, matters of service, matter of nurture and self-preservation, and balances around that keep coming up. Just one, summarizing a very, very, very long and complicated discussion. A lot of facilitators on this planet, especially those who are incarnated, gender assigned female at birth, and those who work very strongly with feminine archetypes, they are working on very old scripts. I am no exception to that. The only reason I know any of the shit that I know is because I'm willing to undo the shit that I was part of before. So it is really a time where we also have to be looking at our spiritual philosophies, who we call guides, what we call energetic attunements, whatever practices we do that try to anchor the energy of of the feminine consciousness in a certain way, where it always has to be seen as a service provider, where people have entitlements and claims to it, and that's somehow holy. It's not. It's bullshit. If those of you who are working at very rarefied esoteric and spiritual levels, the more you say no to that programming, the more you make it, well, a little bit more likely for the next person to say no to that programming as well. There is no glory in sacrifice, there is no glory in suffering or martyrdom, and there tends to be a lot of resistance when you push back against that. So keep doing your work, keep going where you need to go. Even if it doesn't directly relate to you, it may relate to someone around you. So keep going, keep going, keep going. The one, and let me just see if there's anything else. October 28th, we see Psyche conjunct Therius. This is a time where we absolutely need to be focused on those, again, those same narratives that come through ideas of nurture, ideas of service, ideas of healing, and how they've been kind of twisted into a manipulative form and pattern. Psyche is the animating force of the soul. And you need to look at what it is that keeps you going and how your idea of that may actually open you up to different patterns. Just know that predators and predation don't always come in the form of people. Sometimes they're disincarnate light bodies, even if they look like they're glittering in the skies. Long story short, stay true to the self. Don't keep silencing your voice and the way you need to speak truth. I know it's very good to try and avoid, confrontational communication and toxic communication, but sometimes if something is a piece of shit, you gotta say it. Because really, the way you say things is also part of the liberation process. And, you can be diplomatic, there's a space for that, there's a room for that, and sometimes you gotta call a spade a spade. You absolutely need to do that. Do not let anyone control your voice at this time. To thy own self be true, and the truer you are within, the more loving you become with spirit, the truer your energy will be, the purer your love will be. It may not be comfortable for people who are not in alignment, but that ain't your problem. So that's about it. Long story short, very, very condensed. This energy is, I feel that this is a big foreshadowing to the upcoming lunar eclipse, which will conjunct Algol, the Medusa's head in the Perseus constellation at 27 degrees of Taurus. That's coming up November the 19th. And we're really already being prepared. We're being asked to let go of our conscious and subconscious attachments to all configurations of power that effectively saw the feminine as a battery. Either you demonize her and make her into a battery, or you call her a golden goddess and make her into a battery. That is what is consistent through most systems of religious and spiritual practice today, with very few exceptions. It doesn't matter if you pedestalize her. If your primary relationship with the feminine is to see her as something that exists to give you shit, you're still on old occult law. So, that's what we're pushing through right now. So, long story short, don't judge yourself for what you're experiencing. Look at the deeper pattern behind it. Take care. Very many blessings. Ciao, ciao for now. I'm going to go rest. My brother's snoring in the background. Haha. Bye, bye, bye.